Bitcoin breaks all-time highs after Trump is announced the president of the US of A. And so today I want to discuss what that means for Bitcoin, including crypto. Plus, I've got some stocks and ETFs that I want to take a look at. We have MSTR gapping up this morning, sitting at 252. So we know MSTR has been a very strong stock leading into this election, and so it is looking very bullish. And we also have Tesla breaking out again today, so we're going to discuss what that means for these stocks plus Bitcoin and crypto. So if that sounds good to you, you know what to do. Be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. All right, guys, let's get into the video. It was an exciting night last night uh, as Trump was called president heading into the overtime or the evening hours rather overnight. So it looks like that has been confirmed, and that has sent Bitcoin and crypto rallying. So what does this mean for Bitcoin? Where are we going next? Price is currently sitting at $74,428. Over evening, it touched that $75,500 level, and it looks like it may move higher here in the coming days. I do suspect that we may see a little bit of a pullback potentially. We could come back down to test some of these upper levels, but it does look like we are well on our way to that six-figure Bitcoin coming soon. So that will be something to keep an eye on. Uh, Tesla also moving higher, and of course with Elon uh, supporting the president, this looks very bullish for Tesla. Just watching for any news to come out in the next couple of days, potentially, that may cause a little bit of worry in the stock market, including crypto. But nevertheless, it looks like Tesla is going for that probably $300 level and to get that gap fill. So we've been mentioning this here on the channel for a while now, that once we got above this downward sloping trend line, we thought that may hold. We fell through, came back down, tested the 618. Then we got that bounce and consolidation right into earnings where we saw the next move up. And now you can see here on the weekly chart, it looks like we're putting in a big inverse head and shoulders for Tesla. So it looks like Tesla could go much higher. Uh, what I would like to see possibly is a retest of this zone here. We had this as a take profit zone, and really we can go ahead and change that now to act as support. So I'll go ahead and change the color of that box there. But nevertheless, any pullbacks down to around this 260 level, 250, 255, I would suspect acts as support. Again, this is the weekly chart, but I do think Tesla is going higher. Another ETF we can take a look at is the ETH 2X ETF, ticker symbol ETHU. Setting at $5.70 this morning and gapping up off that news from the election results, up 17% overnight. So that was a pretty big move. A lot of these cryptos are starting to move, and ETH has been one of those weaker uh, altcoins, even though it is the second largest uh, market cap. And yeah, it's looking like ETH may break out here very soon. I suspect the ETH is a catch-up play, and so I do think there will be better returns made on ETH instead of some of these other altcoins that have begun to run, such as Solana. But we'll get more into that in a moment. Another stock that has been doing very well is Coinbase, sitting at 244 and moving higher, gapping up today. This has been a big move for Coinbase. We thought this stock was going higher, and we bounced off that trend line, and we have a move of about 35% up since we mentioned that a couple days ago. So that was a big move for Coinbase, and I do think it goes much higher. I do think that Coinbase possibly goes to maybe 260 or possibly 300 here in the coming weeks as crypto heats up. We know typically that Q4 is very strong for Bitcoin, and as Bitcoin goes up, so do all the other altcoins. And we also know that Q1 is typically very strong for altcoins. So as we go into the next 6 to 12 months, I think that we will see these stocks do very well. Another ETF to keep an eye on is BKCH, Global X Blockchain ETF, sitting at $59. And this is the weekly chart here on BKCH. And of course, this is just a ETF. It's a mixed um, fund of different crypto miners and crypto related companies. And it looks like it does want to go higher as well. Uh, we're coming up to our first take profit zone here as a trade, but nevertheless, I still think this stock goes much higher. We could see this well over $100. You can see here back in 2021 that this stock went up to $154. So looks like potentially a 2x return from here, possibly. So that will be something to keep an eye on. And once we get into some of these crypto charts, you'll see how we could be setting up for some big 3 to 5 to potentially 10x returns on some of these altcoins. But if you're interested in buying stocks, commodities, or crypto, you can do so with Robinhood. Right now, Robinhood just launched their latest uh, platform for traders. So if you want to get into trading, this does look pretty interesting. Um, Nevertheless, you can begin in investing and building your portfolio with just as little as $1 and trade commission free. That means if you want to buy a stock that's valued at $500 and say you just have $10 to get started with, well, you can do so with Robinhood. Plus, they offer Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge, and many more. If you're interested, there is a link down in the description below. There's several links down there, so be sure to check those out if you're wanting to get into crypto. But nevertheless, let's carry on and discuss where we think we are heading for the crypto markets because the Bitcoin dominance is spiking higher. And as we've mentioned several times, as this goes up and the price of Bitcoin goes up, that means it is performing better than the altcoins, and we do suspect that we will reject from this area here very soon in the coming days and weeks as this crypto season heats up. And we do think that this dominance will roll over. Once that happens, you'll start to see all these altcoins really start to take off. So that will be something we're keeping an eye on. And we have the total 3 market cap. So this is everything minus Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we have this huge flag pattern here. This is the daily chart, but this goes back quite a bit. This was the 2021 run back here, and then where we went sideways through 2022 and 2023. Of course, we broke through that, and now we have this flag pattern very similar to what we've seen on the Bitcoin chart. So once this does break to the upside, you'll start to see a lot of these altcoins moving, and we still have a ton of room to go because it looks like this is really just getting started here for this next leg up in a lot of these altcoins. So One way to look at this is you can take this pole here off this flag pattern, then place that up here, and that would give us our next target on the total 3 market cap. And so we probably will see these altcoins rally through the end of the year into the new year. I do think that this spring will be very strong for altcoins. As we typically know, Q1 is very strong for the altcoins, and then we may see some sort of a pullback, say around midsummer, possibly, but that'll be something we'll have to keep an eye on. Nevertheless, moving forward, I do think this bull run is just getting started here. So there's a lot of room for a lot of these coins to move, including Ethereum. This is the weekly chart on Ethereum here, sitting at 2651, and it does look like Ethereum wants to move higher. We had this downward sloping trend. We mentioned if we broke out of that, we thought that would hold. It did not. We came back down to the main trend line to retest that one more time. I did mention that I thought this was the absolute last chance you had to get in on Ethereum, and that's why I mentioned that Ethereum 2x ETF, because I think that's a good way to get in. But nevertheless, we've got our upward sloping trend line here, retesting that area. It looks like once we break out of here, we'll be going back up to retest those all-time highs. And then I do think that Ethereum moves much higher still, even though it has been lagging behind the rest of the market. Another way to play Ethereum is with Uniswap. Uniswap is a layer 2 on Ethereum, and it really took off here today. As you can see, from this bounce off the trend line just the day before up to where we are at today, it's up nearly 41%. So Uniswap is looking very bullish right now, and I think there's a lot going on there with Uniswap, and nevertheless, I do think this moves much higher. Of course, if you zoom out on this chart, there is a lot of room to the upside. So that's something you can take a look at. When in doubt, zoom out. Another altcoin, Solana. Solana has been doing very good this altcoin season. Again, this is the weekly chart, so you can see the highs that we had back in 2021. We are heading back up towards those highs. Right now, Solana is sitting at 185, and I do think Solana is going to 200 here in the coming days. There is the possibility that we do pull back just a little bit before moving higher, so that is something to keep in mind. But nevertheless, once we break out of this pattern here, then I think you do see Solana start to go up towards $300, if not higher. Of course, we still think Solana moves much higher than that over the next 6 to 12 months. But nevertheless, it looks like it is about to break those all-time highs here in the coming days and weeks. Another coin to keep an eye on is Sui. Sui's been very strong here recently in the last few weeks, and Sui is sitting at $2.25. So we mentioned that. We mentioned once we broke out here, we thought we might see a retest, possibly down here on the 382, and we got that retest immediately met by buy demand. And so Sui's been looking very strong here recently, and this is another altcoin that has been doing very well recently. These gains are really quite a bit. If we just take a measurement here from the bottom up to where we are now, that's a gain of 320%. A lot of these altcoins that I'm mentioning right now, I don't know that would necessarily hold as a long-term investment other than maybe say Solana or Ethereum. But some of these other ones, such as Sui here, is actually said to be potentially the Solana killer. So maybe it could be a long-term investment. But the way I'm looking at this is a lot of these coins, I'm just looking to trade for this bull run. So I've been trying to find the best positions here on this channel for these coins to get in for spot investors or also traders to trade the different levels. You also have Dogecoin ripping, of course, with Elon Musk once again. This coin has been rocketing, and we know that meme coins have been strong this crypto cycle. So anytime there's a little bit of bullishness in the markets, these things absolutely rip. Dogecoin setting at 19 cents. I would not consider these a long-term investment. Again, really with these, I would be considering them as a trade, and I would only position a small percentage of your portfolio in memes unless you just really get very uh, specific with one meme that you want to trade, knowing that this cycle eventually will come to an end, probably sometime later next year or in 2026, 2027. So that will be something we'll have to keep an eye on. But Dogecoin looking for a little pullback here to retest this area. So I think this box is now going to act as support. So I can change that. I'll do that later on. And another meme coin that has been strong this year and more so even recently is Dog with Hat, ticker symbol WIF. It's been looking very strong, sitting at $2.32. And I do think any day here, any couple of days, weeks ahead, we will be going back up to retest those all-time highs right around $4. One other meme that hasn't been quite as strong as the first two is Bonk, but it was very strong earlier this year. So I'm expecting Bonk to wake up here at any moment. And I do think that we will go back up to retest those all-time highs here very soon. If you are interested in buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Uniswap, Dog with Hat, or even Doge, you can do so with iTrust Capital. iTrust Capital allows you to buy, sell, and trade crypto, gold, and silver 24/7 in a tax advantage IRA. Whenever you are trading stocks, commodities, or crypto, you will be taxed on your gains, and those capital gains taxes can really add up. So that's why I prefer trading in iTrust. They also have low cost and no monthly fee, and they have over 5,000 plus 5-star reviews on Google. So if you're interested, there is a link down below. Plus, when you sign up using that link, you'll receive an additional $100. All right, guys, it is Wednesday. I hope you all are doing well out there. It was quite exciting last night, especially when I saw this chart right here of the Bitcoin price rallying once they started to announce that they thought Trump had won. We knew this would be bullish for the markets. Really, either way, we know after the election cycle, um, that Bitcoin typically pumps, and it looks like we are just starting to head into that parabolic phase for Bitcoin. So I do expect it to take off. So I'll keep you up to date on that. But be sure to follow me over here on X at Mind of Financier. I am Mind of the Financier on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and I post anything that I see that has to do with the markets, including stocks, commodities, and crypto. So be sure to go follow me over there. Also, be sure to hit the like button and be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, guys, I hope you all have a great day. Until next time, guys, take care, be legendary.